This is Neon Inferno. It looks like a long-lost SNES classic, sounds like a sin to a fever dream, and plays like Contra on steroids. But we see gorgeous pixel art indies every week, so the real question isn't, is it pretty? The question is, does the game actually respect your time? Or is it just another retro throwback trading on nostalgia? I played through the campaign and, well, we might need to talk about that difficulty. You play as Angelo or Mariana, assassins for the family in a Cyberpunk 2055. Look, I'll be honest, you aren't playing this for the Shakespearean drama. The plot is essentially an excuse to go from point A to point B and turn everything in between into a red mist. But that simplicity works. It captures that 90s arcade vibe where the only motivation you need is a flashing go arrow and a screen full of enemies. The gameplay feels like Metal Slug had a baby with wild guns. You've got your standard run and gun chaos, but the game throws a wrench in the works: background enemies. I want to highlight how this actually feels, because it's polarizing. To shoot the guys in the back, you usually have to hold the shoulder button to lock your position. This means you are momentarily a sitting duck. It creates this constant risk-reward loop. Do I clear the snipers in the back and risk getting hit by a runner in the front? Or do I keep moving? It takes about 20 minutes to rewire your brain for this, but once it clicks, it adds a tactical layer that games like Contra never had. But the star of the show, the parry. Do not just dodge bullets, deflect them. When you time a parry perfectly, you trigger bullet time, and can redirect that damage back at the enemy. It's insanely satisfying. Warning though, even on easy, this game will kick your teeth in. It's a bullet hell. You will die a lot. I also need to mention the co-op. This game supports local multiplayer, and honestly, this is how it's meant to be played. But be warned, it gets chaotic. With 2 players, the screen is absolutely filled with explosions, and tracking your character becomes a skill in itself. It brings back that specific sleepover on a Friday night energy, where you're high-fiving your buddy 1 second and screaming at them the next for stealing a power-up. On the technical side, I tested this on a PC and Steam Deck. It runs flawlessly on the deck. Because the pixel art is so crisp, it looks incredible on that OLED screen. And the battery life is generous, since it's not demanding heavy resources. It's the perfect play for 15 minutes on the bus kinda game. So, is Neon Inferno worth the price of admission? Visually, it's a masterpiece. The animations, the boss designs, the way the HUD changes per character, it's pure pixel art candy. And the soundtrack? Absolute banger. However, it plays it safe. Aside from the background shooting mechanic, it doesn't reinvent the wheel. It's a tribute act. A really good tribute act. The campaign is relatively short. You can probably blast through it in a focused afternoon. Which brings us to the price tag. You aren't getting a 100-hour RPG here. You're getting a highly polished, replayable arcade experience. If you measure games by dollar per hour, you might want to wait for a sale. But if you measure them by fun per minute, it's worth every penny. If you have a friend for co-op and you miss the days of blowing into cartridges, this is a must-buy. Just bring your reflexes because the family doesn't tolerate failure. If you want to find more hidden indie gems that get buried by the AAA releases, make sure to subscribe. I got a review coming up next week that you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching. See you next time.